everybody, thank you for tuning in. As you can see, we're doing something a little bit different here at the Real Estate Jam session today. Got a fireplace. I've got a great guest. A guest that I ran into earlier this week. She has a great story. I just love hearing people that have a real passion for what they're doing. And in Iryna's case, it's all commercial real estate. So Iryna comes from the Ukraine. She came here when she's 18 years old. It's a great story. So Iryna, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
What drove you, I mean, to come here from another country, 18 years old, all by yourself? How? What was in you to make you do that?
So, as cliche as it sounds, American dream, that's what brought me here.
Yeah.
So I was 18 years old and I had a choice either stay in Ukraine and go to college and just, build my life there,
Okay.
or I had an opportunity to come here for a summer program at UPenn, at University of Pennsylvania, for a couple months.
Right.
And I chose that path. So 2 weeks after I graduated from high school, I just hopped on a plane and I ended up in Philadelphia.
Okay, now, did you speak any English?
Unfortunately not.
You did.
I always say I knew like very basic words like a cat and a dog, and that's it.
Right.
So yeah, that was a big challenge at the beginning.
How did you, okay, so walk me through the process. You landed, and where did you land to?
JFK. I
JFK.
came to JFK.
You came to JFK, 18, very little money, didn't speak English.
I think I had $500 in my pocket.
$500
and
in
two
your pocket.
suitcases.
Oh my God. So where did you land first?
So I landed JFK. Of course, I knew some people from my town that already lived here. So they helped me at the beginning. They showed me around. They picked me up. So I didn't have to like find someone on the street to kind of tell me where to go and what to do. But it was a little help at the beginning. But shortly thereafter, I kind of had to figure out what to do next.
And then what did you start doing to make a living?
So the Penn program ended and I was on a student visa. So in order for me to maintain my status, I had to continue going to school. Okay. And of course I didn't know English, so I couldn't just jump into a college program and say, okay, I'm going to be an accountant or I'm going to be in finance or whatever. I had to learn English, so I started taking a lot of ESL classes.
Okay.
At the community college. At the same time, I had to make a living because my parents, my mom is a teacher, my dad is a policeman, and there was no way that could help me with anything here. So I knew some people in the Russian community. I started working at the Russian Blockbuster. I worked at the Russian restaurant, and I was studying in between.
Right.
And once I knew English a little bit better, I was still taking ESL classes, and then I started taking regular college classes.
And what was the time frame for that?
Probably a year. So after a year, I started taking like marketing classes, a lot of math classes, because I found that whatever is being taught, calculus 1 or 2, is what I learned in the 9th or 10th grade in Ukraine. And you didn't have to know a lot of English to succeed in the math class. So I was actually doing very well at those classes, and then there was no more math classes I could take. So I was like, okay,
so
marketing, marketing it is. And I did not get a good grade because it was a lot of presentations, a lot of writing, a lot of things that I wasn't able to do at that point. And I was really upset because I was always a straight A student. So that's pre-iPhone and iPad. So me studying, I would spend 5 hours reading a chapter. So I had my textbook, my English to Ukrainian vocabulary, and my English to English vocabulary. So I would go back and forth trying to figure out a sentence and then study for the test. So I think that was the only C I ever got in school. But fast forward, I then went to Temple University when I was a little bit better with my English. And I was like, what do? I knew I wanted to go to business school.
Okay.
But I didn't know, am I going to be in finance? Am I going to do marketing? And I didn't have parents to kind of like help me with that decision. So I sat down and thought to myself, I need to improve my English. If I want to be successful in this country, I need to learn how to communicate and communicate effectively.
Right.
So I was like, you know what, legal studies sounds like a good choice because you have
Legal
to,
studies sound like a good choice?
yeah, you have to read a ton, you
Yeah,
have
I
to
bet.
speak, you have
Mhm.
to do all these cases. And Temple University offered a program that was called Legal Studies in Real Estate. So that was my first involvement with the real estate world. So throughout school, I took a ton of real estate law classes.
This is like your second year here, right?
That's more like a third
Third
year.
year, okay.
Yeah. So I'm not like a typical, graduate at 18 and go to
Right.
college. I skipped a couple years because I had to take ESL classes, things
Mhm.
like that. So I'm at Temple working 3 jobs at that point, I think. I didn't sleep for like 4 years.
I bet you didn't.
I had a
How did
night.
you work that schedule? I mean, would you have a morning job, an afternoon, and your classes, and then evening?
So while I was in school, I met someone who was a CFO of Binswanger.
Okay.
Binswanger is a national brokerage firm specializing in office and industrial properties. So I got hired to work for them in the finance and accounting department. So I was helping them with spreadsheets, doing a little stuff,
Math,
and then they
yeah.
kind of promoted me to AR and staff accountant and this and the other. I didn't like accounting at
Yeah.
all, but I like the fact that I am still in school and I have a corporate job and I'm kind of building my career at the same time.
So you did that in the afternoons?
So that was my full-time job.
Well, that was full-time.
Then I bartended
Okay.
nights, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I was bartending. And then towards the end of the school, I started doing residential real estate. So that was like during the day, on the lunch break, I was renting apartments, just running around, hustling, as they say.
Yeah. Is that where you got the bug for the sales side of it?
So, yes,
Or the
I
leasing
liked real
sales and
estate,
leasing,
and
yeah.
I thought that residential would be something that I would like.
Right.
And I very quickly I found out that
Not
that
for
was
you.
not my cup of tea.
Right.
So like I said, I was already involved with commercial brokerage, complete men's boys club, and one day I was 5 years with that company. So I went to one of the brokers who I was really close with. He was a veteran, very successful broker, and I said, "What do you think about me getting into this industry?" And he said, "I don't think this is for you. Like, I don't see you walking through a dirty warehouse, God knows where, But he's like, "If you're interested, look into retail."
So that's where it all started.
Yes.
All right. Now, is that the company you're still with?
No.
Okay.
So I was doing accounting for them.
Yep.
And it was my 5th year. I started looking for other opportunities. And I just found Metro
Okay.
online. I literally
You
went
just Googled a company and
I was looking for who's hiring, and
Right.
I went on to, I believe it was Indeed.com,
yeah.
and they were looking for agents, and I just reached out.
And then you went. Walk me through your interview process.
So we're a very interesting company, especially when it comes to training new people and interviewing new people. So the first meeting you have is with the CEO of the company.
You go right to the CEO.
Right. Usually it starts from the bottom and
Yeah,
it
works
builds
way
up.
up. You're
Yeah.
doing it backward. Huh?
But it was the other way around, which I actually really liked. So you meet with the CEO, and if CEO thinks you have some potential, they give you contacts to 10, 12 people, brokers in the company, and your job is to reach out to them on your own, introduce yourself, and set up a time, an interview time with each one of them individually. And then when you meet, you have to convince them to hire you.
So they make you work for it, huh?
Yes.
That's smart. That's
So
very smart. And okay, so you're with that company now.
I am.
You're focused on retail.
Retail only.
And how's that going right now?
There are ups and downs because of the market,
Sure.
but I really like it.
Yeah.
It's a great space to be in, especially for someone who's outgoing and who likes the markets and who
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like shopping and eating in the restaurants, right? That's
Right,
part
yeah,
of the
exactly.
job.
Yeah, you're forced to, huh?
Yeah. but also helping tenants anywhere from a national level to just mom and pops. It's so rewarding seeing, you know, a new space open or a new tenant
Changing the community.
coming into the market.
Yeah, you're changing your community. Now you're with your company and you're focused. You're in Philadelphia. Tell us about your market. Where do you work?
So I'm primarily covering Greater Philadelphia area.
Okay.
So you know, Philly, South Jersey.
Big box retail.
Anything small, like anything from a ATM space,
Okay.
all the way up to big box.
Okay.
So I was fortunate to be mentored by one of the best brokers in the industry,
Okay.
and off the bat I was involved with pretty big national accounts.
Mhm.
So, you know, I kind of skipped that long learning curve that a
Yeah.
lot of brokers have to deal with at the beginning. So
Yeah.
I think
Well,
I'm lucky.
Having a great mentor, and that's a point that I really want to make here, is having a great mentor, that had to take a lot of time off your career path. You know, it made it go a lot
Absolutely.
faster. And so, you know, if you're a young woman that wants to get into this industry, you made it, I mean, you had your hands tied behind your back, and look where you're at now. So, you know, I think, and I'm hoping by doing this video, a lot of young women can see what you went through to get into this industry. And I know sitting here doing this, you can't really see, but I was talking to Iryna earlier in the week, and she comes at it with so much passion. She knows the industry in her community very, very well. And that's what makes you successful in this industry.
And I always say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Even so, I've been with my company for a little bit over 4 years right now. And when I first started, I couldn't leave a voicemail. I was still so self-conscious about my English and how to get your point across to other people. And you know, we're dealing with big corporations,
Sure.
and we're dealing with big owners. So it was a little intimidating at the beginning. So I remember calling someone, cold calling, and I would leave a voicemail and I would listen to it and I would hate it. So I would re-record that same voicemail 5, 6, 7 times. But you know, I had no choice, and I knew I wanted to stay in the industry. So now I don't have to do that anymore, thankfully.
All right, well, tell me, if there's a young woman watching this, can you give them some advice?
Yeah, absolutely. One, in this industry, you have to be hungry for knowledge. It changes so fast. You have to be willing to learn every single day. And two, there are a lot of soft and hard skills that we need,
Sure.
but having a personality is huge, and also finding the right mentor. It doesn't have to be even in our industry. It could be just a mentor who is successful in any other industry, and just have them coach you and tell you how to get from here to there is invaluable.
Yeah, I did a video earlier in the week, and you know, you really want to start with finding the right mentor and the right company. Make sure you do your due diligence before you take on a new mentor, take on a new company. Really check them out and make sure they fit for what you're doing. But all right, so now if somebody's watching this and they go, man, I love her story, I want to talk to her about doing some business in Philadelphia, how do they get hold of you?
You can find me on social media, of
Yeah.
course. That was part of our
We will. We'll put
summit.
your
But
we'll put your
also
link down below in this
and
video.
LinkedIn is a good way to find me. My first name is Iryna, Iryna with a Y, and last name is Iryk. So I think that's the best way to connect.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have your information down below in this video. So, Iryna, thank you for taking the time to come in. I think you've got a great story, and I love your passion for the business, and I think a lot of people are going to pick up on it as well. And thank you for tuning in. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you again in a couple days.